We are preparing to go live. We are going live. We are either preparing to go live or we are live. We are live. There you go. Hey everybody. Welcome to another Thursday late night. This your first time here? Do this every Thursday at this time. And yeah. The big podcast is on Sundays where we do a lot of horror creator interviews. Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me. Of course, all of these, if you can't watch them live, you can watch them later or you can listen later. So, hey, how's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing all right. Let's see, who do we have? Suzanne, Darren, Alan, and Marianne. Marianne, I owe you an email back. So, I didn't forget. I've just been a little swamped. All right. What do I have to talk about? Well, first, a couple things. Jake says, haven't seen you in a while. When I was on the verge of mental death, you taught me stoicism during the election. Oh, wow. Jake, well, I'm sorry that you went through that or have been going through that. And it's really kind of you to tell me that I helped. I'm really glad to know that. Somebody else, well, a couple other people, but one in particular I'm thinking of, won't mention any names, told me how much they look forward to the Tuesday and Thursday episodes during the week to help get them through the week, and that means a lot. So it means a lot to me. A couple things. Remember, if you're not a member of the mailing list, that's the number one way to stay in the loop about these episodes. And the link is it at the right at the top? Let me see. It's the Patreon link and then the email link, which is the other thing. If you're not a patron, it's only $5 a month, and literally the Patreons are the only reason why I can keep doing this. So please bear that in mind. And if you're in the top tiers and you've got a book coming, I wanted to let you know that, let me find it. No, Monty, you're being a goober. You know that? I don't, he wants to star, I guess, on the show. Actually, he's chasing a fly. Normally, I'm all for that, Monty, but we're on air right now. Anyway, In the Mouth of Madness comes out October the 1st, and you guys have that coming to you as well as, something else. But that should get to you somewhere around October the 1st. And then the publisher, hi, then the publisher is going to be on the podcast. He couldn't do a Sunday podcast, so he's going to be, let me pull up the easing calendar. He's going to be on live at 1 p.m. on October 1st. I'd like to say I did that on purpose, but I didn't. 1 p.m. Eastern. Of course, you can always watch later if you're working. Or you can watch while you're working if you have a desk job and pretend that you're working. That's even better. Kim says, food in the fridge, a roof over my head, a car that runs, a steady job. Yeah, and a kitty cat on my screen. See, what did I tell you? He wants to be famous. Question for you guys. I just wanted to make sure this was still the case, that you guys, these Thursday nights, usually 4 a month, right? So you guys want me to continue just doing it by myself, except for one Thursday a month where I have a guest with me, like Alan or Kelly Young or, etc. And is that still the case? You want me for 75% of the time, or Do you want to do a 50-50? I'm fine with anything really. Just let me know. Um, chime in on the side chat, or if you're watching later, chime in the comments below and let me know. So, um, yeah, Jakester, things can seem pretty awful. And yeah, and they are in a lot of ways, right? But maybe not to this degree in America, but at some level or another, things have always been awful, which is also to say that things have always been great. It just, I guess, depends on what you focus on. When you get overwhelmed with everything, let me see if I can screen share. Tell me, okay, you guys got to tell me if you can see the screen that I am trying to share. Okay, can you see that YouTube video? Oh yeah, you can. All right, let's make that bigger. We don't need sound. Let's get rid of the sound. Okay, this is the Milky Way galaxy. This is where we are in the Milky Way, it says. And I'll provide the link to this YouTube video. We're out on the edge, near the edge of the Milky Way. And that's why when you look at the sky at night, you see this band of stars down the middle. You're looking from the edge towards the center. Okay, and that's just one galaxy. Let's rewatch that. That's pretty cool. I'm glad I can screen share now. So zooming out. By the way, my compliments to the videographer who took this. I mean, he had to travel a long way, or she, or it. Maybe it was a robot. Maybe it was a drone. That's what it was. It was a drone. Yes, I'm kidding. But it's a damn good representation, So, how do I unscreen share? There we go. Stop share. That's pretty cool. Well, actually, Alan, in one sense, you are the center of the universe because, believe it or not, in an expanding universe, the center is more or less everywhere, right? Do I have that right? I don't know. I'll have to look that up. So we're in one galaxy out of billions and billions, possibly trillions. And in this one galaxy, there's, if my memory serves, 400 billion stars, of which our sun is just one. So the moral of the story is don't take life too seriously. I mean, do what you need to do, but don't take life too seriously because uh, I'm rereading The Last Werewolf. By the way, I really recommend that book, and I want to read some quotes. I saw my highlights from years ago when I read it for the first time and chuckled to myself. Um, here we go. Let me read a few. The Last Werewolf. It's about a guy who's, wait for it, a werewolf. And hey, Brian. And he's, wait for it, the last werewolf. And he's getting tired of life. He's suffering from quite the case of 200-year-old ennui. And he's ready to die, he thinks. He's very philosophical. And he's going through this existential crisis. Vampires exist in this world too. Here's a quote. I talk about, yeah, he's only halfway done, Kim, by the way. Werewolves live to be about 400 in in this book. Vampires live forever. Um, Vampires don't go in for that sort of thing, talking about revenge. Not on any kind of principle, but because 9 out of 10 times they just can't be bothered. All motivation derives from the primary fact of mortality. Take mortality away, and motivation loses its motivation. And if you have not read it, you're in for a treat. I mean, it's just a really good book. And Alan, I mean, I haven't read the any of the other books, surprisingly. So, are those good? I mean, would I like them? Where is every now and then you look out at the world and know its gods have gone utterly elsewhere. Its personality shows. The kid abandoned horribly early who survived at too great a price. I assume you keep a full bar at home. At 3 full bars, then it's safe to open the door. Only meaning can make a difference, and we all know there is no meaning. True enough, except for the meaning that you assign to yourself. All stories express a desire for meaning, not meaning itself. Therefore, any difference knowing the story makes is a delusion. There's so many good quotes in this book. There's a quote near the beginning where his friend, who is human, is pretty pissed off that he's ready, that his friend the werewolf is ready to die, and he says, "You love you're." He's telling me that you're supposed to love life. He goes, "You love life because life is all there is. There is no God, and that's his only commandment." I really like that quote. The first horror is that there is horror. Second is you accommodate it. You love life because life is all there is. Let's see. What else we got here? I haven't talked you into it yet. That's the nice thing about Kindle. Don't get me wrong, I love print books, but that's the nice thing. The highlighting, I do so much of it and then record it in my journal. I read somewhere that when you're a kid, it's people's cruelty that makes you cry. Then when you're an adult, it's their kindness. I don't know. I have to disagree. All right, so yeah, there's a few quotes from um, The Last Werewolf. Yes, The Last Werewolf, Glenn Duncan. Thank you, Alan. Again, In the Mouth of Madness, Sutter Kane. You probably know who that is. That comes out, and it's only $6.99 on Kindle. That comes out next Wednesday. So 6 days. That's it. 6 days. No, I'm not getting paid to say this. Um, I was watching uh I was watching a documentary on Cary Grant called Becoming Cary Grant. It's on Tubi. It's pretty good. I think it's a little light on content. There's a lot of moments of ocean waves in there for some reason. Um, that packs it into an hour when probably 35, 40 minutes would have sufficed. Um, I guess we're supposed to think about the content that we just received while we're watching the ocean hit the shore or something. But it's pretty good. It's free on Tubi. But the thing with Cary Grant is he had trauma in his childhood. He was born, his name was Archibald Leach, and he took the name Cary Grant when he came to America and he was getting film jobs. And my point is, he carefully constructed this person that he wanted to be. You know, how he would walk, how he would talk, his mannerisms, you know, how he would think, what he would say, um, and so on and on and on. And I can't find the quote. There's another quote that I could find, but this one's better. He said, Cary Grant did not exist until I created him. And after I created him, I became him. And I have thought about that quote for decades. And when you're trying to make changes in your life, many times it's not enough to say this is my goal. You know, sometimes it is enough. But what really helps is if you step into the kind of person that would accomplish those goals. If that it might sound like I'm splitting hairs, but I'm not. There's a difference. And uh, another way to think of it would be your idealized self, or maybe call it the best version of yourself. It's helped me a lot. I remember I met Danielle when I was 23, and she was also. In our first date, a week after we met, she asked me um, what I wanted to do with my life. And I was delivering pizzas part-time at the time and had a load of free time. My bills were paid and I was fine. Um, but that's not what we call a lasting career, I guess. Maybe it is. Um, and I said, I don't know, but I just know that I want to be my own boss. And so, you know, we had a great first date, and then we were dating a couple of months, and she sent me this. Um, she cut out this advertisement in the paper for they were real estate companies looking for people to become real estate agents. I knew nothing, absolutely nothing about it, how it worked, anything. And she's like, you know, you work for a company, but you're really working for yourself. You're an independent contractor. And I thought, man, everybody wants a house. It's not like you're talking people into, you know, buying something that they don't need. You can't talk people into buying a house. You can only help them after they've decided that they want to do it, which is the approach I took when I became a realtor. I didn't see it as a sales job. I saw it as myself as kind of as a consultant. Anyway, um, so I went to real estate school. It's like 2 weeks, and you got to pass this asinine test that has absolutely nothing to do with real estate, really, with what you do day by day. And got my license. And um, while I was going through real estate school, I thought about what I saw this as my opportunity to work for myself. And I was a realtor for 15 years. And there were good years and bad years, but a lot of good years till I got sick. But I sat down, my, believe it or not, my word processor, this was 1995. I sat down with my word processor and I wrote out what would be, in my mind at the time, my perfect work day. And I wrote it like it was a little, you know, 6 or 7 paragraph story. I wake up, you know, smile at my wife or my girlfriend Danielle, and it went from there. I wish I still had it. I don't, but um, I got into, and this is what kind of breakfast I'll have, and then I go to work and I'm selling houses and I'm helping people. You know, by the way, I really loved helping first-time home buyers. It's such a scary process, and it really helps to have somebody who's not trying to talk you into something. I hope I'm not boring you guys. I do have a point. The point is this little story of my perfect work day that I wrote down. And I've done it at different times in my life. My perfect day off, or my perfect um, day in retirement, or my perfect vacation day, that kind of thing. Hey, Dave. And somebody indicate that I'm not boring you. Because if I am, I'll move on. Here's my point. That really helped me because I kind of became that person in that little story. It helped a lot, made me successful. I looked at it years later. It was amazing how everything in that little story had come true. I remember, and this is before I even got my license, but one of the things in the story was I that the person running whatever company I was at would ask me to give little seminars to the other realtors in the office because I was so successful, and teach them to be successful too. All of that came true, and it was amazing years later looking at that. And I really strongly do not believe it's some sort of magical, um, you know, believe that this is going to be yours and it'll magically be yours. No, it's not that. It's more that when you write a story like this, when you think about this, when you try to become that person and set these goals, then you keep asking yourself questions like, okay, how can I accomplish what's in my little story here? And that's a good question to ask yourself because you'll eventually find an answer as long as you don't give up. And that's more what it was. I basically sat down this blueprint. Um, Thanks, Alan. I basically sat down this blueprint, I guess is the best word. Um, my work success blueprint. And then I tried to build my life according to that blueprint. Maybe that's the best metaphor there. And so I guess I just offer that to you as not because I'm so wise or anything, but if there's something that you want to change or if there's something that you want to accomplish, it's a really good tool. I had to learn all these tools on my own uh, because I was dealing with such depression at a young age when I got out of the cult. So you know, I it was just a really great tool in my mental toolbox. So yeah, that's a good analogy, Kim. She says, I look at it like this: when your car is sliding on ice, what they say to do is look in the direction of where you're trying to go. Your body follows suit rather than look at what you're about to crash into. Look at where you want to go. Your muscles will move in kind. Yeah, that's very true. And so one last little analogy before I get off this topic. If you imagine that you're walking in this huge field, right? Maybe it's like the size of two football fields, maybe. And at the very end, you're at one end, and at the other end is this big tree. Okay. And you decide you're going to go, it's a warm day, and you're going to go and sit under that tree and read your book or whatever in the shade. Okay. All right, so if you walk and you get distracted, you're thinking about stuff, and you're not keeping your eye on the tree, it's very easy to veer off the path. Not the path, but the straight line direction into the tree. The good news is, this is what I've always taken from that analogy, is that let's say you do start veering off a little bit because you're looking down at your feet or you're thinking about something else. All you do is look up and you're like, oh, there's the tree. I need to adjust and make sure I'm, on the straight line to the tree again. And first time I heard that analogy or read about that analogy, what I really took from that is it's okay to fuck up. It's okay to screw up. It's okay to um, lose your way almost. But you just remember to look back at the tree, look back at the goal and say, oh, that's right. I want to get here and I need to get back on the best and shortest distance to there. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. And it's helped me a lot. So, um, hey, check this out. So, this is from Science Alert, September 23rd. We emit a visible light that vanishes when we die, says surprising study. I was very skeptical of this at first. The article goes on, life truly is radiant, according to an experiment conducted by researchers from the University of Calgary and the National Research Council of Canada. An extraordinary experiment on mice and leaves from two different plant species has uncovered direct physical evidence of an eerie biophoton phenomenon ceasing on death, suggesting all living things, including humans, literally glow with health until we don't. The findings may seem a little fringe at first glance. It's hard not to associate scientific investigations into biological electromagnetic emissions with debunked and paranormal claims of auras. And it goes on. Let me give you guys the link. Chat. Oh, you're welcome, Dave. Always enjoy having Kelly on. No, I won't tell Kelly. We wouldn't want to give him a big head. Anyway, there's the link. There's a video at it too, at the link. So now, in other news, you crazy horror people will like this. From September the 7th, Sky News in the UK. Headline, man arrested for allegedly living in crawl space of Oregon housing complex. This is a United States story. It's weird. A man in the U.S. has been arrested for allegedly living in the crawl space of a property without the owner's permission. Now, this is one of the creepiest real life things that I can think of. Benaman Bukhar, 40 years old, was found at an apartment complex in Clackamas, I guess that's a town, around 16 miles south of Portland, Oregon, on Wednesday night. County Sheriff's deputies investigated after a witness reported seeing a man who was not known to live in the complex parking his car and walking to the back of one of the buildings. The door to the crawl space was open and light was coming from inside before the door was closed. And do I have a picture of this? Do they have a picture of this? They do have a picture of this. Check it out. That's some kind of creepy, man. So there. Think about that when you go to sleep tonight, if you have an attic or crawl space. Logan showed me this one um, YouTube video that he said he thought was legit. And because the guy heard noises in his attic and he took his phone up there and he was videotaping for whatever reason. Hi, Monty. Hey, buddy. No, you can't have my water. Oh, but okay. Um, and when the guy gets up there, then this guy kind of jumps, or his figure kind of jumps, and he is so scared he drops the phone and everything. And Logan thought it was real because if it wasn't, they would have never dropped the phone. So it happens. Makes for a great fiction story too. If you've seen the TV show, have you guys seen the TV show Whitechapel? It's pretty good, especially season 3. That's all I'll say if you're interested in that kind of fiction. And then season 4 was a surprise because up till then it had just been crime only, and then in season 4 paranormal things start happening. And I just loved it the way that they introduced it. So I've never listened to that. Welcome to Night Vale, has the Kim says, the faceless old woman who secretly lives in your home. Do I have guests set up for the Halloween show? Well, the Thomas brothers always do it for me, but do it with me, but I have to set. Did I email those guys yet? Let me look at the calendar. Why are you up there? You're gonna knock off all my books over there. Come on. Come on, little guy. Come on, big guy. Come on. Off. Oh, Monty. Okay. Why don't you? Okay, say hi to everyone. Are you causing trouble tonight? Yes, I am. Okay, bud. You lay here, okay? Little furry demon. Let's see. Did I email those guys? I'd be surprised if I. Maybe I didn't. Oh, yeah. I gotta get this. Okay, thank you for the reminder. Yeah, thank you for the reminder. I don't have guests set up, but I will email the Thomas brothers and see who else we can get in that wants to do it too. All right, so I was looking up weird news, and that was the first thing. Here's a good one for you. Children watch in shock as man in Chuck E. Cheese costume arrested over credit card theft. Can you imagine taking your kid to Chuck E. Cheese and Chuck E. Cheese gets arrested? There's a picture of Chuck E. Cheese in handcuffs. God, that's hilarious. Oh man. It's a topsy-turvy world. All right, what else do we got? UK, politics, world, US. Let's get away from the politics tab. Weird news. Looks like that's all that Sky News has. Quote, this shouldn't have happened. Bishop who interrupted church choir in dressing gown apologizes. Okay, I don't even need to read that story. I don't. Okay. Oh, really? Hide her in the house with Gary Busey. And that's always I shouldn't say that. He's actually been in some really good movies. Point Break, Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet out. I don't think it did very good at the box office back in the day, but yeah. So I have no idea why I'm going to talk about this next year. I have no idea. But there's a song by Dave Van Ronk. Oh yeah, he makes a great psycho. So does his son. Did you see his son in the movie Contact? That guy, oh, you believed he was a cult nut. This is from Wikipedia. Last Call is a song by Dave Van Ronk, released in '73. Released a different version in '94. One of the few songs he has written. Van Ronk claims that he woke up one morning after a night of drinking with, wait for it, Leonard Cohen and Joni Mitchell, and the lyrics to this song were written on a piece of paper. Neither of them admitted to writing it, so he had to assume that he had. Um, there's a key scene in the um, one of my favorite books, when the Sacred Genmo closes, taken from that. The title's taken from that song, actually. Um, and so we've had another night of poetry and proses, and each man knows he'll be alone when the Sacred Genmo closes. And so we'll drink the final glass, each to his joy and sorrow, and hope the numbing drunk will last till opening tomorrow. I won't read the whole thing, but and so we'll drink the final drink that cuts the brain in sections, where answers do not signify and there aren't any questions. I broke my heart the other day. It will mend again tomorrow. If I'd been drunk when I was born, I'd be ignorant of sorrow. It's just, I guess, writing drunk and editing sober is definitely the way to go. Close tab. There we go. Let's see. Do I have anything else to talk about? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I started making a list and I titled it Unsettling Horror Films That I Want to Rewatch. And if you haven't seen these, then hopefully it helps. Oh, you missed the astronomy talk at the beginning, Dave. Sorry. But I can do more next week if you'd like. I don't have to be talked into talking about astronomy. I know. Too bad we're not recording this. Kidding. All right. Here's I have about it looks like about a dozen movies on this list so far. It Follows. These are all, they tend to be sort of an unsettling, I already said unsettling, but um, I don't know. Anyway, It Follows. Lake Mungo, which is about to get reissued. Session 9, sound like I'm lisping. Session 9. Um, The Dark and the Wicked is pretty damn scary. The Dark and the Wicked. The Witch, I think, is a very unsettling film. Bavarian Sound Studio is good, yeah. I watched that with Joe Polar at the one night at when we were uh, at the Griffin's house, staying up late to watch it. Joe fell asleep. Uh, the Others, damn good film. If you haven't seen a short film, I think it's about 40 minutes long, called AM 1200. It's very Lovecraftian. It has a few tropes, I guess would be the word that I really like. Late night driving in the desert, mysterious radio um, broadcast. And you can watch it for free actually on YouTube. And the director is the person who put it there, so don't feel guilty. Because I think that's about the only way you're going to be able to watch it these days. Kim, cigarette burns is actually, are you looking at my computer? It's actually the next one on my list. I am not making this up. Look, I'm going to show you. Look, okay, watch this. See, right there. Cigarette burns. Next one on my list after AM 1200. That's wild. That is wild. Okay, Horror Express is not unsettling at all, but I was just thinking about it and I want to rewatch it. It's fun. The Last Wave. You should watch the trailer. I don't say this often, but you should watch the trailer for The Last Wave. I really like it. And as well as the movie. That's the only one on this that you should watch the trailer for before you see it. Only one on this list. The New Daughter, very unsettling, pretty Lovecraftian, in my opinion. Pontypool, need I say more? The Shrine is a pretty creepy film. And last one on my list for now is The Vast of Night. Is it a UFO film? Well, sure, but it look what you did to my books, dude. What the it is, but it's also very cosmic horror. It's very well, unsettling is the word. It's very unsettling. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna put the Empty Man on this list too. The Empty Man. The sequel will be The Half Full Man or The Half Empty Man. Well, that'd be better. Yeah, the sequel's gonna be The Half Empty Man. Okay, that's all I got. Wow. Had some people come in near the end. Yeah, Empty Man is great. AM 1200. I'm gonna rewatch that tonight or tomorrow. That's just if you haven't if you haven't seen AM 1200, you really should. I mean, I think that of all the movie titles I've just given you, but yeah, I don't find the 13th floor unsettling in the same way as this list, the movies on this list, but I really, really like the 13th floor. Um, it was released about the same time as The Matrix. And yeah, I like The Matrix, but the 13th floor does that virtual reality thing so much better, in my opinion. Um, I really like it. And all right, Dave, you live by the Fog Church. You should take some photo and video. Send it to me, man. Email it to me. Yeah, 13th floor is more sci-fi, but it's, you know, the whole idea is unsettling, right? That the whole Nick Bostrom of it, that we might be living in a virtual reality. I thought about if you're living in a virtual reality and you believe in life after death and like a heaven or a hell, I guess, it seems real a lot it seems a lot more doable. It seems doable with a virtual reality, right? So you have people who are born, they live and they die in a virtual reality, and you've got them in one reality in their lifetime, and then whoever's running the simulation puts them in, say, a heaven virtual reality after they die, right? Dave says about the Fog Church, I was there one day and the maintenance crew was cleaning and they told me I could go in and hang out without anyone there. It was awesome. Yeah, that's that's great. California, right? Well, guys, thank you for spending part of your Thursday night with me. On Sunday, um, we're going to talk to Michael Wehunt at the usual time, 6 p.m. Eastern. His new book, The October Film Haunt, is a good book, real good book. And then, as I said, on the following Wednesday at 1 p.m., we're going to talk to the publisher of the upcoming horror novel, In the Mouth of Madness. I can't imagine that anyone that's listening to me right now is not interested in that book. And then the following Sunday, Nadia Bolkin is going to talk about her new book. So, and then of course we'll have the usual Tuesday, Thursday night next week, as per usual. Same bat time, same bat channel. Yeah, man, I could burn up a weekend going through this movie list that I made. Alan's helping me with a lot of Lovecraft easing stuff, and we're both um, using a program called Notion. It's I don't even know how to describe Notion. Is it a note-taking app? Yeah, I guess, but that's a simplistic way of describing it. Um, if you have to take a lot of notes, if you want to journal, or if you journal, or you like making lists of stuff, um, whatever, no, you ought to look into Notion. Um, I really like it. All right, guys, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Exactly. Alan says note taking that can turn your notes into lists, databases, pages inside of pages. It's really been easier to organize my thoughts and things that I want to get done for work, meaning the easing, but then also personal stuff. I use it as my journal now. Um, when I highlight in a Kindle book, for example, it sends it to my list of books on Kindle. I won't bore you with the specifics, but yeah, it's pretty cool. If you're a nerd, which I am, and Alan is, right? We're nerds. Thank you guys. I will see you guys on Sunday, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.